Answering words this morning come from the Reverend Angela Herrera from Reaching for the Sun. Beneath the streams of thoughts that clambers and chatters over the landscape of our interior world, beneath our habits of momentum and stirring, there is a stillness, deep and peaceful, the place where creation begins. Who lives there? We know her by many names: truth, love, God, wisdom. We turn our hearts toward her face, toward the mystery, and bring our prayers of awe, of longing, of hope, of exhaustion. She holds us in our grief and anger, in our disappointment, our loneliness, and our rebirth. From her viewpoint, she sees us, children of stillness, children of love. She sees our place in the order of things, joined together in the larger story, and she invites us again and again into living, invites us into loving, invites us into being loved. May we be restored to wholeness and blessed with peace. May all those whom we encounter receive this blessing through our being in the world.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Jackman. I've done a lot of singing since I've been here, but not a lot of talking. But this morning I wanted to say hello and read out the translation to the song that we are about to sing so you know what we're saying. The words mean, grant peace, goodness, and blessing, graciousness and compassion on all that dwell on this earth. May it be your will to end hatred, war, and bloodshed from the world, and may we all form one community to realize this will wholeheartedly. Creator of peace, bless us with peace.
This community of care is created through our work and our time together, our commitment to one another. This is our covenant, to walk together in loving fellowship, to share our hopes and values. As we pass these baskets, we thank you for your generous gifts, which support the work of this religious community and Unitarian Universalism in the world at large. As a reflection of our values, we are pleased to participate in the Change for Change program. The coins you place in the basket today will support the work of nonprofits in and around the Grand Valley. With gratitude, we will now receive today's offering. This congregation is a community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to its life, we affirm our lives within it. Our next hymn is number 1051 in the teal hymnal. We are.
We are.
I think that there is a beauty in December. It is dark, it's cold, and it's deep. And this year, to me, December feels especially holy, as if something is about to be birthed, a new paradigm, a different way of being, an invitation to be in the world, but in a new way, while not unfamiliar. More like it's an old expression that simply hasn't been expressed for a very long time. And I feel as if it is the old, ancient yearning of soul wisdom, a remembering that has been buried deep in the recess of our human souls. And you can't believe I'm crying already. But what I'm missing is that concept of the cosmic mother, that deep, dark, sacred, hidden, long ago expression. And I think it's time to awaken her. And so on the darkest and coldest nights, that's when we see the most stars. And beyond the vastness of the night are other worlds and other planets and divine energies. And so for me, December is the month that embraces the dark. The nights are longer, the days are shorter, and there is a calling to go within, to slow down, to snuggle up in the comfort of a warm blanket. And so this, in many ways, is a sacred month, a month to rest. I think especially this year, it is also a time for us to get reconnected with our souls, our spirits, and the real, true us, the inner us behind the facades. And so that's what I'm choosing to do this month, is go within, probably deeper than I've ever gone. And as I'm calling it, to go into that cosmic womb and emerge and help this world emerge a new concept of the divine feminine. And I don't know why I'm crying. I do know why I'm crying. I'm crying because I'm tired of this source of strength and beauty being repressed and denigrated and ignored. That's why I'm crying. To me, I call that the cosmic mother. And so I feel like November was a month of letting go. It was a month of grief and acknowledging the loss of an identity. I think for me, an identity that I'd had individually, but I also think there was a collective loss of identity. And so for December, even though I'm up here crying, I feel strong and I feel intentional, and I'm going to allow myself to slow down, to go a bit deeper, to embrace the aspect of me that has been crying out and searching for a really long time. And that's my invitation for us as we enter this new month, this kind of holy month this year. Every so often, I share my story about how I chose to become a minister, and I called it my what if question. And it was in relation to deciding to go to seminary because I was working with people with Alzheimer's and dementia and wondering if their reality was maybe just something, this beautiful spiritual experience that I wasn't able to connect with. I began wondering if really what they were experiencing was an expanded consciousness as their brains were releasing the veils that separate us from other realities. And so that was my question that started me on the path to seminary and ministry and chaplaincy and brought me up here with all of you. But recently, and it hasn't been just since November, it's been for the last few years, there has been another what if question stirring in my soul. And it's been that inner knowing question, knowing and questioning that idea that something is not quite right. But I haven't known what it is because I don't even know what to ask because I don't even really know what's missing. And so I decided to ask for it. Like my heart's been crying out for something I just can't explain. So what I've decided to do this year is reconnect with the divine feminine. And I've had a book on my shelf for a long time, and I decided to open it this week. And it's called The Return of the Divine Sophia by Tricia McCannon. And early in the book, she wrote about her own journey, and she said, quote, "I spent my time in the woods in prayer, hoping fervently that someone wiser than I would come and connect the dots." I'm going to say that again. I spent my time in the woods in prayer, hoping fervently that someone wiser than I would come and connect the dots. And I realized that's what I've been yearning for, looking for, asking for, someone wiser than I to come and connect the dots. And then I thought, well, or maybe, what if I'm one of the people that is meant to connect the dots for myself and for others? And so this year, that's what I think I want to do, is begin to try to connect the dots, to be one of the people who is willing and able to start searching for and bringing back what has been lost, what is missing, because now is the time. This is going to make me cry again, so I'm warning. But so something crystallized for me on November 6th. Danny, my 17-year-old daughter, came down with a screenshot on her phone with a meme that was going around that said, "Your body, my choice." That was the message that my daughter received the day after the election. That was the message that young men were receiving the day after the election. And there is a part of me, and excuse me from the pulpit, there was a part of me that just wanted to cry out, "Oh, hell no. No, that is not who we are. That is not who we're going to be. That is not the world that my daughter, my son, their friends are not going to grow up in that world if I have anything to do with it." So that became my motivation for us to really begin to go deep, to find that different way. And so I think it's time, I'll only speak for myself, but you're welcome to join me. I think it's time for us to be on the front line of bringing a new paradigm in for the world. And it's actually not a new paradigm, it's an old paradigm that has been lost, but is ready to be rediscovered, embodied, and embraced. And this, it is not fight energy. It is not anger. This lost concept is love, is power, is strength, is beauty. But it's lost and it's unfamiliar in our culture. And my soul is yearning to bring it back. And Tricia McCannon, in her book, she writes, quote, "It is from Mother Earth that everything comes. Every piece of wood, coal, iron, or wool. Every animal and plant. But our society has forgotten this. When we dishonor the mother, we dishonor all that holds the universe in balance." And that's what has happened, is we are out of balance. She goes on to write, "The source of all great spiritual traditions flowed from the wisdom cultures of Egypt, India, and China. As this wisdom spilled out into the world, it had birthed the mystical teachings of the Druids, Mayans, Essenes, Greeks, Sufis, Magi, Kabbalists, the Gnostic Christians, and the Rosicrucians. It had also influenced the inner teaching circles of the Native Americans. But as the age of darkness fell, this secret stream had been nearly strangled by the church. The world had been steeped in religious wars, book burnings, and ignorance, and the deeper teachings had been forced underground. Long ago, the wise Thoth, god of wisdom in ancient Egypt, had predicted this fall in a Hermetic writing called the Lament. At one point in time, we knew this wisdom. We knew this connection with the earth. We knew this connection with the cosmos. We had this beautiful balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And it got buried. And we are the generations that get to unbury it, which actually, if you think about it, is kind of cool. So she goes on to say, "I knew intuitively that this deeper wisdom was somehow woven into the heart of the goddess. And if we only had the keys to decode her symbols, we could awaken to the wisdom behind them. But in those early years, I did not know the language of Hermetics that had been taught by the masters, nor did I realize that there were other spiritual initiates who still honored the Divine Mother, even in the mystical orders of patriarchal societies." The Divine Mother never went away. She's here, she's with us. She's just kind of been a little bit lost and buried. And so who are some of those feminine models? And I'm going to just name some of these female goddess divine images, and just think to yourself, ask yourself if you've heard of any of these people. Isis, Hathor, Green Tara, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, White Buffalo Woman, and there are so many more. I made it all the way through seminary not knowing most of these names. I was raised as a Methodist. I didn't hear of Green Tara until like 10 years ago. What might our world be like, our country be like, if instead of being told there was one way and there's one gender and that type of paradigm is fully in control? What if our children, our little girls and our little boys, are taught about Isis and the divine Sophia and the power of wisdom, and that Mary Magdalene was this amazing mystic who we have reduced to a prostitute. And isn't that interesting? That one of possibly the most powerful women in the world was so threatening that we turned her into a prostitute as something that we could try to just ignore and make so low. And so that is my what if. What if we start talking about these new paradigms? What if we start talking about the new way to be? What if we start finding our voice of the power and the strength of truth and love and feminine energy, divine feminine energy, so that we can also lift up? There's a beautiful divine masculine energy too. This is not about one or the other. The problem that we have been through these last centuries or thousands of years is we've lost our balance. So as we find voice and bring up the divine feminine, we are not doing that to silence anybody. We are not doing that to silence the divine masculine. We are doing that to create a little bit of divine balance. And in fairness, I think the divine masculine is just as lost right now as the divine feminine. And what we have is a culture of internalized misogyny. And I think it's time to just kind of let that go. So, I've totally lost my place in my sermon. But she writes, the male version of the Creator has had plenty of press these past few thousand years. There are many advocates for a vengeful, punishing God, a God who separates and divides, a God who judges and condemns, a God who destroys or conquers everything that will not submit. I, for one, choose life. I choose a Creator who unites. I choose peace and unity, not division and war. Our world has seen enough of that to last many lifetimes. And that's what I think I want to do is, as we move into this next year, we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to take this month of December to really rest, go deeper, think about who and what I am and what I stand for, and then be ready to emerge strong, powerful in January when it really might just be needed. And so I am going to share today these closing words. They're a lovely message from a woman who actually, I'm not sure where this is. It says it's a message from the Pleiadian Star Mothers, but I can't remember whose Facebook page I took this off of. But this is from the Pleiadian Star Mothers, okay? And they say to us, breathe, dear soul. It is time to breathe and allow the present moment of presence with your God self to soothe you. Transformation can be gentle in a world that feels rough and hard. Transformation can be gentle. We want you to know we are here holding you at this time. As a mother would cradle a newborn child, breathe, dear soul. It's a time to breathe today. No rush, no haste, no race, just breathe. We ask you to breathe into your own presence, cocooned in the energetic wisdom of your soul heart, the heart of your soul, the soul of your heart. intertwined in tender embrace. Transformation can be gentle, dear ones, as one steps back from the drama of it all. When you ask for help, when you ask for support from those in the universe and those on earth, you see it as the union of these aspects that bring forth grace. In the space, in the void, in the heart of it all. Your hearts, dear precious ones, opening like flowers, to take their place in the opening up of the human race, to create the future filled with compassion. Be compassion now to your own self. Believe, dear ones, believe it. Even on seemingly sorrow-filled days, the sorrow cleansing the way for a brighter tomorrow, lighting up the heavens on earth. Your beautiful ones are the light of the stars here. You are the stars. We ask you to remember this starlight within you. Tap into it now. Breathe, 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 dear soul. We simply ask you to breathe. Let us sing, May We Be Filled with Loving Kindness. Number 1031 in your teal hymnal. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Go your way in peace. Wander as you may. Blessed is the path you take. May love guide you on your way.
Go in peace. Amen.